A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out my friend too.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Ooh, welcome. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Jose Bukwena. I am your host. Yeah. Hey, what a weekend, guys. What a weekend. We're going to get into this stuff. This is a footballing show where we speak about football. And more especially on Mondays, we check in on what has happened over the weekend and what spots we've seen. If you do want to add your voice to the show, if you've ever watched the show before, I have panels of people who come in and they add their voice to the show. You can do that by following me on TikTok, then joining me while I'm live on TikTok. There'll come a time where I'll say I'm going to open up the lines. Then at the bottom of the screen, there'll be a button that says multi-guest that will appear. Click on that button, request, and you can add your voice to the show. The show is on every Monday to Thursday. We're going to be moving to 7 o'clock. So every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. And then on Fridays at 12:30 in the afternoon is my breadwinners, the contributors to the show who come in. So, yeah, guys, I mean, nothing really hectic happened this weekend. Nothing that we should really speak about too much. I mean, Sundowns made it through to the quarterfinals of the CAF Champions League. You know, the Pirates beat Crystal Lake 3-0. You know, nothing else really happened as far as I know that is worthy of us speaking about today. So maybe we'll just cut it there with the two of them and see where we go from there. Hi, Maronzo. Ntokhele.
Hayibo baba, namanje usacasulwe lento okudliwa kweKaizer. Hayi ngeke baba, kuzomela uye kuyisupport iKaizer.
Angizwanga?
Cha phela ngithi baba kuzomela uye kuyisupport iKaizer. Beke bezokucasula kanjena.
Okay. The big one, obviously, is Milford knocking out the Kaizer Chiefs. We're going to get to that one. I'm going to start the week off on a nice note, on a good note, on a positive note. I'm going to give some time. We're going to do 30 minutes for Mamelodi Sundowns versus Nwadibu. And then also another 30 minutes for Pirates winning 6-0. Then we'll start the therapy session, guys. We'll start the therapy session where we can get things off of our chest. Teams that people that support a certain team can get things off of our chest. So I'm gonna go straight into it. I'm gonna open it up. We're gonna start off with Sundowns versus Nwadibu and speak about Sundowns progressing to the quarterfinals, becoming the sixth team to make it into the quarterfinals right now, along with ASEC Mimosa, Petro Teluanda, TP Mazembe, Young Africans, and Al Ali. Those are the teams that have made it through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Sundowns looking to repeat something they last did in 2016 with winning the CAF Champions League. So, if you're a Sundowns fan, we're gonna start off very nice, guys. We're starting off very nice. I'm not gonna get heated. I'm not gonna go off. Sundowns guys, please jump in and let's have a conversation about what we saw in that game. Unless you guys, I feel like people are waiting for the therapy session. You don't want to speak about anything else. Let me see. If I can get 1,000 likes, we'll skip all of the nice stuff. We'll skip Mamelodi Sundowns, we'll skip the Pirates, we'll go straight to Indaba. That people want to speak about. But until then, let me welcome Agent so we can speak about this game that was played by Sundowns. Hey, Agent, I see people are waiting, man.
People are waiting for stressful things. Let me talk about my flower. Some people use this motto as a motto. We live it. The happy people, we live the motto. Some people claim it, but we live the motto. The Lama boys, we live the motto. Peace and love. It's us.
No, Aiden, what did you see from this game versus Nadibu? I mean, it was a game you had played before. I believe you'd already beaten them. You've only drawn one and lost one. You and TP Mazembe on the exact same points, but because of King head to head, you guys are ahead. What do you think of your team qualifying for the quarterfinals with one game to spare?
You know, one thing that we know for recently, dialysis, Chiefs losing to small teams, sometimes go to quarterfinals. We know that. That's a given. It's a given. We know that. We don't even have to discuss it. So nothing new, nothing surprising there, So I'm only a bit worried that we filtered the Bafana players. I thought maybe it would have been nice to give the player that scored 6, that other team failed to score against Nwadibu to build momentum and chemistry, because we'll need it, because we know what Bafana players can give us, but I'm happy for Oloch. Some people think that we have forgotten that Oloch is now yellow. He was able to break the tag. So I'm happy for him. First Champions League goal and hopefully first of many. Otherwise, it was nice for us to win comfortably in an artificial pitch. I think we've struggled against it at Bafana level, since we're Bafana again, and even at club level, we've also struggled against it. So it was nice to see us winning. So yeah, man, I think otherwise it was a good game.
Okay. This is what I'm gonna do. We've crossed the 1,000 mark. So the people want it. I'm gonna ask Ronnie and Stepfather to quickly touch on the Pirates game, and then we'll go directly into the therapy session. Maronza.
Yebo baba.
Maronza, uboneni ngeteam yakho man. Ungakhulumi versus the Crystal Lake on Saturday.
You know what, ne? When you play these teams, right? You need to teach them the lesson, you need to show. Hold on, just 2 seconds.
Man, Maronza. Okay, let me bring in. Oh, okay.
No, I was closing the door. There's a sound coming from the other side. Yeah, I'm saying you need to teach them the lesson, because once you give them the chance, I think Pirates, whatever they did that first 15 minutes, it was not to give them any space, any chance, any confidence. That's how you need to play with these guys. First 15 minutes, if you give them the chance and then they get confidence, then it's another thing. Look, okay, I don't want to go to other games, but I'm saying do not give these young teams or these new teams a chance when you're playing them. Hit as much as quick as possible, and then if the 2 goals down, already the game is done. Simple as that. Even if you don't score after that, they will never equalize. That one I promise you. So I think Paris did good for that. Like that is the good thing that all the teams need to do. Sundowns did the very same thing. Paris did the very same thing. So you need to hit them early, 15 minutes done. Simple.
Okay. Hey, Stepfather, ngiyazi ukuthi ufuna ungihleka about a different issue, mara I'm going to ask you just to touch on your team's performance versus the Crystal Lake lapho Nedbank Cup before we start the therapy session.
Hamba kanjani Osipho, to right?
Ngi-right, ngizathini man, ukukhala kuncedi.
All right, let me just get into the game here, Pakania. It was a beautiful display from me, team yami. What I saw there is that I was a very touchy for granted that those guys, Crystal Palace League, they never took them for granted. They were there to punish. I mean, by 11 minutes, we were 3 goals up. 11 minutes first half. So, and we were supposed to be 4 or 5 goals up. But then, we had because if we saw about 25, 26. But we put in a score, I understand. But then there were negatives there from that game. which I picked up, there are guys who are not serious with Pirate, who I need to be told, guys, these games like this, you want to game umele build ngawe confidence yakho. I mean, like uma Hopa, for instance. Uma Hopa lapana ubethola delivery, left, right, and center, but he chose not to score even one. Then when we were sub, was sub for Mabasa. Mabasa came in and scored. First chance he scored a goal, of which Mahopa was not doing. So now, as a coach, you go to him and say, "Ntwana ngigayile chance." You chose ukudlala ngayo.
Yeah.
And there was a Kimi video as well. Ubedlala ngathi nje ubedlalela i-practice match. There was a chance where we were supposed to score. Wakhetha ukwenza ngazi indlela akayenza. But then ngaphandle kwalokho, the guys showed ukuthi siya serious, and then we still got another one. We draw. We last 16. Still, we need to like bury them fast up until this year we semi-final if we go there or final, because umoyeka laba ubashaya usend message ngabo, then kuzoba nenkinga modwa nabo Stellenbosch nabo banibani, because bazobe bengasadlala boseni. Kumele ufake la ubuild the confidence la, and then going forward uzobe sowazi ukuthi sharp intwana zami ngiyazi ukuthi ubani usekazithemba, he can score what, because these guys basobe no value. Coming to the games, Crystal Lake was like, I'm going to face Umaswanganya, I'm going to face Sundowns, the guys they always watch on TV. So very much no value. So but press first game but convince uzobashaya. So that bring up build the confidence, because once these guys build the confidence, when you go to them, go to the second half, first half, you break, go 0-0. It's gonna be difficult when you come, because now they know what we can do this. We can go to the extra time, maybe we can go to the penalty with these guys, and maybe we can beat them. But then all in all, my guys bakompensate ukuthi asadla nengane si serious. Take every game, ube serious kuyona yonke game odlala. Akusho udlala nobani, akusho lutho lokho.
Okay. Hey, I wish a certain team had gotten this advice before.
Stepfather, you have nice. Can I ask Stepfather one question, man? Stepfather, you have nice life problems, eh? You're wearing Hopa didn't score. And that's the whole team didn't score, man.
Okay, guys. Okay. We may revisit this later, the two teams, but I did promise that if we get a certain number of likes, we are going to go directly into the other taba. So let me put us into the other taba, lay the table. Then I'm going to ask the panelists, and then we'll bring in other guys about what was actually seen from a specific game. So I'm going to start it off this way, just so that we know what we're getting into.
Hayibo baba, namanje usacasulwe lento okudliwa kweKaizer. Hayi ngeke baba, kuzomela uye kuyisupport iKaizer.
Angizwanga?
Cha phela ngithi baba kuzomela uye kuyisupport iKaizer. Bengabiza ukucasula kanjena.
I don't want to tasuka today. I want to speak about this game, Chiefs and Milford. I've got a video that I put out with my thoughts, 17-minute video that I put out with my thoughts. So let's talk about a little bit about this game. The more you paper over cracks, the more you do small little changes and small little updates in order to make it look like you're moving. At what point you're going to be shown out. They're going to figure out what's happening, and it's going to fall apart. I think Kaizer Chiefs is a team that has been doing smaller repairs, smaller things that look great on paper, but aren't actually fixing the team and moving the team forward. And for Kaizer Chiefs, Nedbank Cup has forever been the tournament that shows us that diamond corner something wrong. It been 2009 when University of Pretoria beat us, 2010 FC Cape Town, 2011 Baroka, 2015 Black Leopards, 2019 TS Galaxy, 2021 Richards Bay, and then 2024 Milford FC. I don't want to make this too much about the Milford game, because I think that the Milford game is the symptom of a bigger issue at Kaizer Chiefs, and it shows itself. And you look no further than the other big teams and what they did over the course of last week and this weekend. Mamelodi Sundowns came up against, who did Mamelodi Sundowns play? We don't even know, but they beat them 6-1. Pirates came up against Crystal Lake and beat them 6-0. Both teams didn't necessarily play all of their starters. Both teams were able, as Umarons and Stepfather said, first 11 minutes is 3-0 up. They've tied down the game. They're finished. We played a near full-strength team. Actually, full-strength team. We played a team that we would play on any given day. We PSL. And even though we had the 3 chances that everybody's speaking about, it was sad to see a team that didn't have a plan for much of the game. And as the game went on, and we couldn't capitalize on Milford, Milford actually got confident and comfortable. I don't know if you guys realize they were playing the ball out from the back. They were comfortable enough to play the ball out from the back. And also, the other part that gets to me is that this Milford team was not the best team, guys. They're 12th in the NFD. They didn't have better players, so they was outpacing their strikers. Utove, somebody who on a daily basis in the PSL gets shown up, especially for his pace. They didn't give us much threat going forward. They didn't have, I don't think they had a shot on goal. We got a penalty, Shamating Pali, we did all these things. But yet we couldn't put them away. And at the end, they started getting more confident. And I think what really irks me about the Kaizer Chiefs is that I see everything else. I see the tactical planning. I see the maybe they caught you off guard. I see NetBank and all of that stuff. I think what we're missing more than anything is character. I say in the video, and please, I urge you to go watch it, that I'm not somebody who thinks that you can win every match or that you should win every match. I think, though, that there are ways to win and there are ways to lose. If Milford came out and they had us on the ropes from minute 1, I would say no. As in the guys, you guys tried, you came out with your plan and they solved us. But then in this game, we saw a Chiefs team of guys who are paid in the multiples of these guys. I'm sure Toli A1 pays the salary of all those guys per month. But at no point did you see fight. F&B is empty. F&B is empty. First time. The fans are sitting there. They from minute 10, 15, 20, you could see that the fans were getting itchy. The fans didn't know what was going on here. And we all got the feeling that something might happen. Guti Milford is shy. But at no point did the players, nor did the coaching staff look up at those fans and go, all right, guys, let's do this for them. At no point were our players selfish enough to say, okay, guys, forget about the fans. Let's do it for us. Obviously, the news had come through that Pirates win a 6-0. That Sundowns win a 6-1. That Sundowns, actually, the previous day, had now qualified for the quarterfinals of the CAF Champions League. At no point at Kaizer Chiefs do the players, do the coaching staff go, "Aye, guys, how do we carry on doing this?" These are the same players, right, that watch their peers go and get bronze medals at AFCON. I need to be busy fighting for them as Chiefs fans. Ah, no, you must pick Chiefs. Bruce Yasanya. Yeah. At no point do those guys go, all right, guys, everything else I see, Milford. If there's a game that you're meant to win and make a statement, not to be disrespectful to Milford. I don't want to be disrespectful to Milford, but they are 12th place in the NFD. If there is a statement game where you show people that, no, you know what? We're going to go out there and we're going to show a little bit of fight. We're going to show a little bit of spirit. We're going to show a little bit of something that's going to show us that Siapila's corner, we also feel. But yet, 90 minutes ends at 0-0. Fakwabantu, Abo Vilagazi on the pitch, Abos Banbane on the pitch, everybody's on the pitch. And they still can't do something. They still can't show us something. Your peers are doing incredible things, guys. Your peers are doing incredible things. Yet you guys can't beat a 14th place Royal AM who don't show up for the game. You can't beat a 12th place, a 12th in the NFD place Milford who didn't show up for the game. So at what point do we look at them and say, Mara guys, what's happening here? Is there not something that is missing? And this is what happens, management. This is what happens at management level. When you paper over cracks and paper over cracks and paper over cracks and paper over cracks. Earlier in the group, we were having a discussion. Agent in our WhatsApp group put up a picture that he had found, some pictures from Transfermarkt that tell you what the teams look like, the executive management teams and the management teams at the different clubs look like. You look at Mamelodi Sundowns and Konabo Fleming, Konabo Banban, you see different country things. If you click on their things, they've got so much experience. Abu UEFA A, Abu UEFA B, Banban. They've got a whole management team that you can go down, even down to the assistant coaches. I believe Coach Loftman is doing his UEFA A this next 2 months. He's doing his UEFA A. So they've got a team of people. Now, Kevin Johnson was moved from head of youth and scouting to head coach. Who's doing Kevin Johnson's job right now? Why is it that I can jump directly from Kevin Johnson all the way to Kaizer? And the people in between are negligible. What type of decision making is going to come from that? We are now on our second interim coach, Akir. It's like he was an interim coach, and now Kevin Johnson is an interim coach. We're still seeing the same things from Atazwani, going into Ntseki, now going to Kevin Johnson. At what point do they take us seriously? You know, I watched Uzita Kwinika come onto the pitch yesterday and play as a right back. And I was like, okay, fine, maybe he's a fringe player that you want to give game time. But there's Solomon's on the bench. Now I'm talking about the coaching, the actual game. There's Solomon's on the bench. We know what Zita Kwinika is. For those who don't know, for example, and I don't want to make him the scapegoat, but to show you the decision-making Kaizer Chiefs, Zita Kwinika first joined Kaizer Chiefs in 2014. He played for Chiefs for 2 years to 2016, left, and then we brought him back, I believe it was 2022. We watched Uzita make mistakes that got the previous coaches fired. Uzita, the defense, all of those guys making mistakes. And yet we see the same exact Uzita starting, for example. So now I'm looking at Kevin Johnson. I'm saying, okay, you've seen your predecessors. He was there when Ntseki was coaching. You've seen your predecessors fail. Do you not think of doing something different? We saw Ntseki play with the midfield, Coach Ntseki, play with a midfield that does not play the ball. There's no one in the midfield who's willing to drop back, get the ball. And yet we're seeing the same thing for Kevin Johnson. And you even see that it's a plan because he took out to Martes Kalangai all the time. But then now we saw that, no, this is how Chiefs plays. This is Chiefs' play. I always make the joke when I'm here that Utove gets the ball more than anybody else in the team. When he's on the pitch, it runs through him. And you see it. Shabalala is playing left wing. Shabalala is playing left wing. Now, I don't know about you guys, and I'm not an analyst, a paid analyst. I don't have coaching badges. But guys, please refresh my memory as to how good, where was Ushabalala good when he was playing well that season that he came in? Where was he playing? And how many times this season have we seen him go to the left wing and go to die and disappear? How many times are you going to see that building up very slowly nullifies the speed of Utu prayer? because you can't play in behind. So they have the ball, they play to Dove plays it to the back, da. By the time they decide to play the ball forward, the space in between the goalkeeper and the last defender, center back, is so small that Dupree, no matter how much speed he has, cannot run into there. How many times are we going to see that game played before somebody changes something in the technical team? And I want to stick to football now. The actual football of it. We know that Usaile is an incredible finisher of the game. 15 to 20 minutes before the game ends, you put him on and he will score. He's done it a few times, even this season. If not once. Late goals. Because he's not good at getting the ball and having to think about the thing and beat a defender and do all that. Credit to him, though. There was a cross he put in that Dupree hit off the crossbar. Credit to him, but we know that he's not going to do that all the time. Unkosimpile Ngobo has no partner. Has no partner. So because there's no midfield giving Unkosimpile Ngobo the ball, how do you expect him to play? Then you turn around and we'll say that these players are trash. Ntetwa did this very well at Stellenbosch. That was his bread and butter. Yet, at Chiefs, he's the third centre back. Then we get later into the game. And now, as the big team, quote unquote, you'd still go, guys, last 10 minutes, last 20 minutes, last 30 minutes, let's go all out. Let's attack them all out. Let's just hit them over and over and over again until something happens. I don't know if they were trusting penalties or anything. I don't know. And guys, I want to move away, to be honest with you guys. I want to move away from saying that we need this player, we need that player, we need this player, we need that player. We've auditioned every player that you could think of. From Manyama to Billiard to Mtetwa. We've brought in Abu Castillo. We've done a lot of people that have come into this team and they've come in and played the same exact system. Charlie will just be a defender. I see Charlie was mentioned here. Charlie will just be a defender tomorrow. He'd be a third centre back. You can bring in a number 10. You can bring in a number 10 and say, hey, number 10, Uyashisun Tsoembu. Who's going to give them the ball? And then they're going to find themselves supporting on the wings. But more than anything, as I close so that I can open for other people to come in, more than anything, what really grinds my gears, and I started with this and I'm going to end with it, what really grinds my gears is that there's nobody, when you look at that pitch, maybe Ranga was close. There's nobody who showed that, yeah, the guys, Petro Mahloni right now. We need to do something versus this first division team. We need to do something. Nobody's running harder. Nobody's trying harder. Nobody's doing anything more. People are laughing on the bench. Kevin Johnson only got up second half of extra time. That's when he started shouting and screaming. So what do we expect from this team? What can we expect? And for me, the biggest problem is attitude. Attitude. Who's grabbing the players and saying, hey, gents, you know, Gary Neville, I think it was, he spoke of Ukin in the middle. And he said he was not the best player. He was not the guy that had the most skill, who was dribbling everybody, who was doing all that stuff. But when we spoke about standards at a club, he was the guy, Echimini, and the game, whatever, who would look at them and say, guys, this is not Man United. This is not the Man United we know. We need to play. Don't mess around. Thierry Henry says that when he got to Arsenal the first time and he was met by Tony Adams, he was going towards Derby and he was playing around. And he says Tony Adams grabbed him, put him against the wall and said, hey, wait, now this is Arsenal. It's not whatever French team you came from. This is Arsenal. So at Chiefs right now, who can we look at and say that is the standard bearer at Kaizer Chiefs as a player? Who's the leader at Kaizer Chiefs? Not the person who wears the armband. Who's the leader that's going to say, guys, right now we're playing Milford. No disrespect. No disrespect to Milford, but they are a first division team. Any PSL team that plays an NFD team should come to a point where they go, guys, these guys are a level below us. These guys don't earn as much as us. These guys are not even close to our fitness, even though we are not fit as it seems. Our fitness, they're not close to us tactically or skill-wise. At some point, we need to go, guys, this is Kaizer Chiefs, guys. Which player can we point to there and say that, okay, that's the guy? When you look at your coach and you look back at your coach and he's sitting down, which coach can we point to and say, you know what, that's a serial winner. That's the guy who's going to bench me tomorrow. That's the guy who's going to go into the transfer window and go get better players. When you look at management, do you really think when Mark thinks about the bench, when Mark thinks about the transfer window, when Mark thinks about how management views them as they've been performing, do you think that he shakes Aliwan and goes, yes, sis? Yo, that's the Bazong replacer. Yo, guys, that's the, if I don't do well tomorrow, I'm going to be gone. No, here's the Milford, the Mangang signer, Mangang Shire. Sasa, they're going to go sign the star from one of the big teams, the star from Africa or whatever, to come and replace me. Do you really think that he shakes? Do you think that, how many players do you think at Kaizer Chiefs shake? When it comes down to it. So why do we expect more? Not to mention the fact that management has already told us that we fired Zwane, we fired Mulifintseki. So that means that we were going to look at all those results and we were going to go, yeah, we're just going to carry on with those things and we'll see. What is the mandate for the coaches? What's sad is that, we were looking at, we were talking in the group earlier and somebody said that Chiefs fans are insufferable, that Chiefs fans are the worst and we make so much noise. It's because our teams don't speak for us. We have to speak for the team. I have to speak up and say, no, Bafana needs some Chiefs players. No, we are building what. We, us, the guys who face the backlash every day. Sundowns, do you think that the Sundowns fans dictate what Sundowns is doing? Do you think that the standards that Sundowns, or whether a coach is going to be fired or hired, whether a coach has to win the league or win the Champions League, do you think that that's dictated by the fans? Now, I use the example of a player on the pitch who's thinking to himself, who's going to replace me and who's going to take over from me? Now, let's go up. Do you think that anybody is afraid of anything there after 9 years of not winning trophies? Who's going to hold anybody accountable there? And what type of mandates are they mandating from the top? And are they following through? The nice thing about Sundowns, guys, I'm sorry. The nice thing about Sundowns is not only do they say to Rulani, we need you to go out and win the league, and then we need you to go and win the Champions League. That is your mandate. But not only that, you know that if you don't accomplish these things, you're on a tightrope. But we are going to back you by getting the best technical director to sit behind you. And I know he wasn't hired in Rulani's time. I'm just making an example. Getting the best technical director, getting the best academy staff, going out and spending 100 plus million in a transfer window to try get you players that are going to help you accomplish that goal. So every time I see Abo Pobi, Nabo Kaizer Jr. coming out and saying, no, guys, we are building, we really do want to win, you guys are what, then you look at their actions, it doesn't match. So what is the mandate from up there? Now Pirates, win a trophy lap. And if you don't win trophies, they're not as loud, but coaches disappear. Umuntu khumbule ekhaya, and then all of a sudden he's gone. What is the standard? What is the mandate? What are we trying to look at here? What is the goal? And then when we figure out what the goal is, do we know that these guys are moving towards that goal? Can you see it? I can't. In fact, for me, it looks like they prefer not to do the right thing. Kevin Hunt gets us to a quarterfinal of the Champions League, a semi-final of the Champions League. Oh, fired. Ernst Middendorp loses the league on the final day. Fired. Whether we like them or not, they were doing a job. So it looks to me that there was actual progress being made, and then they were like, guys, we don't feel comfortable with this. How many times have we looked for a coach? Kuchuelando assistant wako, and no, I don't want to speak badly of Atazwane, but he was the assistant coach who had never coached in the top flight. How long would it take you to go and win? Ask Mikel Arteta. How long would it take you to go and win? And does that align with what you wanted, or is it an easy hire? You get rid of him and you bring in a technical director to be the coach who also has not coached in the PSL as the head coach. Last memory we had of him was him at Bafana Bafana. Can you tell me that that is a move that signifies that we're moving somewhere? When Sundowns was still lost, and I'm sorry to reference them so much, when Sundowns was still lost, you can't blame Petrus Motsepe for not trying. He was betting about Stoichkov, Abos Banbar, Barcelona legends, Abos Banbar. It wasn't working. But you could tell by the moves that he wants to do something. Nkwanyana says fans wanted him. Again, why should fans be the ones that dictate what the club does? Why should fans be that? Hiring and firing coaches up to the fans? Or is that a scapegoating excuse for them to look at us and say, yeah, but you guys did that? I don't know how many fan meetings Pirates fans have had. How many fan meetings Pirates have had with Pirates management where they decided to hire Ribeiro. So, again, words and actions are two different things. And if it's rotten at the top or if it's bad at the top, it will mimic what's happening on the ground. Chiefs players don't know what position they play, don't know what to do. Chiefs management doesn't seem like they even have enough people to know who does what, where. They keep bringing in guys who are not really up to snuff. Same, it mirrors it on the pitch. So I'm going to end it by saying Milford is not the problem. And what Milford did for us as fans of Chiefs, as people who love the club, what Milford did for us was to come in and show us. We were in a state of acceptance where we were just, Kevin Johnson, sabona ukuthi uyawina, asazi ukuthi wina njani, but you know what? Hi, masimi again. And I'm hoping that this Milford result acts as a lightning rod for us to remember that things are not right. Things are not right. But anyway, I'm gonna open up, and guys, feel free to jump in. Feel free to jump in and let's have a conversation about what we saw over the weekend, and then also just a bit of a conversation about Chiefs as a whole. This is what the other fans call a therapy session when they see us doing this. So let's hear what they have to say. Let me start with guys who aren't Chiefs fans. Maronza, I'm gonna ask for your thoughts about this Chiefs situation, and yeah, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, man, this is bad. You know, it's bad for football. It's bad for football. let's look at Bafana Bafana anyway. There were two teams dominating, Pirates and Sundowns. Sundowns was the main dominator, and they're playing the Champions League, right? If Chiefs can be good, Pirates can be good, Sundowns can be good. Four teams in the PSL can be good. We can win African Cup of Nations like that. We can go to World Cup like this. But we are saying Sundowns are dominator, blah blah, all those things. But when we go to Bafana Bafana and say, hey, let's take if Chiefs was good as they used to be. Pirates is average now, but if they were too good also, and then there was no total dominance in the PSL, we're going to be far. You know, whatever's happening at Chiefs, guys, I feel these guys now they're running this as a business. This is a business for them. There's nothing that they look. I don't feel about Bobby. They even feel. There's nothing. I don't
I think there's just we can go on, Marons.
I don't think they even feel that there's need for them to go to the stadium or all those things. What I asked you last time when they play what do you call it, Royal AM, I said the window was open, right? The window was open for January. Who did they sign? Nothing. They had 6 weeks to prepare the team. Who did they ever maybe you know, that is the feeling that I'm having now, because if I'm saying Pirates won the game at the tunnel, Sundowns won the game in the tunnel, those boys, they went there and say, I never see the lab. You know, I never see the lab. So if Chiefs is that average for teams which is a year old to look at them and then babanyatsi, then there's something wrong. You know, I think now it is high time whereby Chief supporters boycott going to the stadium altogether. To show that they don't like whatever's happening. I was in the stadium yesterday. I was so bored. I don't want to lie. I was there. I was watching the game. I was so bored because you cannot bring 4 defenders and one, which means you're defending with 5 people in such a game. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
5 defenders. When you sub, you even sub another. You sub somebody who's effective. You bring another defender. How? I'm not a coach, but when you look at that thing, you said, look at Solomon's in. Chiefs started to be alive.
Okay.
They started to be alive. So what I'm saying is there's something wrong that is going on at Chiefs. It's either the management, they don't want, as much as you said, they don't want to win. Maybe Tina, we are creaking our head, and the supporters, they are saying this and that. They are getting numbers because Chiefs, they're losing. Maybe it's the most Jobas Kulmaganj. Because it is the most being on the social media, because when their name is there on the social media, Facebook, to TikTok, whatever, maybe they're getting sponsors for that. We never know. So maybe but they're getting sponsors for whatever is happening, because I don't feel that they even care. I think that care. Let's save money, let's do this. Our fathers getting age and all that, let's do this. I they don't care, those guys.
Hey, Maronza for time.
Thanks, man. Parents, when they're playing, when we are angry, you'll see the next morning, you'll see a change, you'll see something.
Yeah.
I don't know what is. You'll see something. Look, if they started to lose now, they lost that 2 games like when before the African Cup of Nations started. If they came back and lose those 2 games today, you could see that Pelaman is not much. Clean. So I don't know what is happening at Chiefs, man. I'm bored.
Maronza for time. Thank you, Maronza. Stepfather. Ibona njani situation ngoba wena ngiyazi ukuthi ufuna ukungihleka.
No, no, Oti, ngeke ngihleke, Bram, ngeke ngihleke. I think we need to, phela, as our fans, we need to fix inkinga nasiyibona khona. Last week after the game Royal AM, I asked you Oti ukuthi, who do you look forward to see when iChiefs idlala? And you said akunamuntu. Because nami as iBhakaniya anginamuntu engithi mangifuna ukubona iChiefs idlala. I'm like, before where I used to say, hey, I'm looking forward to see uThabo Moki or Jabu Pule or Scara Ngobese, you understand? There's no now that player at team in as a Chiefs. They don't have a star player in this big team as a Chiefs. That's the final be war. You cannot have a big team like Kaizer Chiefs. So those guys from Milford, ubana babezomsaba in those guys. Akunamuntu, they're just going to play the ordinary players nje abafana nabo. That's why from the game iqala bebengathiwanga abafana abancane because they were just playing ordinary players like any other player. It's like they were playing his cocoon or something because akunamdlali which is ukuthi but somangela ubani bani. Akunalo umuntu lowo. So that's the thing. It is first they need to sign players, not these ordinary players they have. They need to sign players abazo deserve ukudlalela leKaizer Chiefs because njengamanje Chiefs akunana nowani umdlalo ngathi laphana kwiChiefs uya deserve ukudlalela iChiefs. All of those guys there, they don't deserve ukudlala kwiChiefs or to be in the first team. Maybe some of them can come as ama reserve masekulimela abanye but not to start. Those guys bonke othi akunamdlali nale-one odeserve ukudlala kwi-first team eKaizer Chiefs. Because iChiefs siyayazi they used to have players before. Before I used to like bengakutshela like from keeper to the striker se-Chiefs. Now ngisithola sekudlala oChichirara Viviro uthi uyabheka khona bomsimango umkhohle nokuthi ubani umsimango uyabona bodove. I'm like but this is not Kaizer Chiefs material. You understand? Another thing ucoach weChiefs lo khona manje naye akazi imele enzini lo muntu. He doesn't know what to do. I mean egemini yeMilford uzoqala ngomthetho. Egemini yeMilford uzoqala ngomthetho. Uzodefendani kuMilford. So you understand?
Yeah.
And another thing, Kaizer Chiefs fans now, they are not serious. Next week you can go and play and win 1-0. You'll be celebrating that lousy 1-0 win. And will say, give us Ipan Munich. So how are they going to take you serious? The management, the Chiefs, Mogwina 1-0, Opetayo. And then you say, give us the PSG and what. But about now, but these guys are not serious. Let us just be on and off. Because Baso Chabula must be 1-0. And then after that, Sekpedi. Because you celebrate, you win a petai. We at Paris don't celebrate you win a petai. Because we know what we don't deserve to even celebrate win a petai. Sundowns. So we cannot be celebrating Gucci, but you are number 2. You don't deserve to be number 2. You don't deserve to be where you are right now as Kaizer Chiefs. You don't deserve to be knocked out by Milford, guys. Those guys who are playing for Kaizer Chiefs, I know some of them are watching, they are sitting on TikTok. They all don't deserve to play for Kaizer Chiefs. All of them. Who before maybe was not now. Because now is a bench warmer from I don't know who are the players that are putting on a bench. Which means the
experience yethu isebenchini sifaka uMfundo Vilakazi.
Yeah, I understand. And then Umfundo Vilakazi, they don't even trust him. They don't even trust him. Into ingenile, but then into abavele bayifihla. You understand? It's like no more no what I understand. Because it was a game for Umfundo Vilakazi to show himself. If you watch Game Pirate and that Crystal Lake, Uratom was tormenting those guys. But then Uvilagazi, we know Uvilagazi what they can do. But Ubefisha abadala naye.
Okay.
You understand? Because they know what he is talented ukudlula bona bonke laba bakhona. But they made sure ukuthi akatholi people. You understand?
Hi. Stefan,
but
for his cat.
Alright, no problem, Oti.
Hey, think for abanye, man. Let's carry on with this. Tebza, gear situation, man. What do you think? Welcome.
Yeah, OT. Na level tse bolo mabane. Ke sa itse gore ke bitse bolo ke. I'm just going to get straight to the footballing side because Atsadi management and all that. But we go be such those people are family. They family. They wanna keep it as a family. They won't allow. They don't wanna allow other people to come in and help the team. I give you about feel okay. But about team or but about salary. I mean that money can come high. Nala and then we're not just appoint about to buy rate Meroka Bonello More by just column or ba feel they are qualified to do that job. You are not qualified. You haven't played football. We don't know you. We don't know how much you know football. You understand? But then you are busy there, team. You interfering with the coaches and people who must sign players. Understand? So let's just leave that one. We won't win it. We won't win it. We've been crying for so long. So let's just focus on the footballing side. We've seen the game around. I'm just going to go through tactics in Yana and formations and all that, and how they got it wrong. I agree with stepfather on how do you go into a game playing six defenders? Jamal Castillo, he's defensive minded. Six defenders against Milford. It doesn't make sense. Otaba ingi. What are you afraid of? Press that team. Play a high line. Force them. When they play long balls, do you want to tell me those players will outpace us? They won't outpace us. I want to fitness too. You understand? So why are you afraid of attacking those boys? Why, when they have the ball, you let the team drop back? Or no, you let them have the ball. You let them be confident on the ball. Make them uncomfortable. You understand? You must make them uncomfortable. Keep pressing them. Don't let them have time on the ball. You understand? And then play with two number 10s. O that's ka ngobo. What's that dalaleka vilagazi mohar. Utlekere vilagazi ba re ke mang mfano shabalala. Mutlise closer to vilagazi and play with other wingers tse di leng teng mola. Come gore se itse di players tsa Chiefs. We're just gonna name them ka di positions. Play another winger there. Watlalo. You are playing or Akiti. Play someone else there. Udalaka, I've been crying ka Saile. I believe what Saile could be good as a number 9 because of, remember, come a winger, you need to think, my guy. It's the same as playing as a number 10. Winger, you need to think. The guy just needs to score. He wants to run and score, and he has the height and the strength. Just use him as a number 9. As a winger, you need to think. You need to be clever. You need to beat players and all that. He doesn't have that. But then I see someone no longer he can bully the center backs. He can cause a lot of problems there up front. Okay, fine. We are not winning the game. Extra time. Your changes. You bringing out Saile or then Sachiva. I mean, my guy, why don't you take those two players? They have the physique. You understand? Yeah. Put them there. Play 4-4-2. But there is a couple level 2. Pump those balls inside the box. You understand? Chiva and Saile. We could have got something.
And you have Castillo there as well.
You have Castillo as well. You understand? Why are you not doing that? Unsa Saile or Tansa Chiva Awaira Saile. You just adding fresh legs. You didn't change anything tactical. You just put in fresh legs. You understand? Like are you born into it? Or you can easily bring a Frosla or a Solomon's earlier. Play the full backs. That's a midfield there. You understand? And when I say 3, I'm not saying add another center back. Yeah, now I'm Tetra or a Castillo but then let Mashiani pump forward and Solomon's pump forward and play those crosses for Sahile and Chiva Vairo. And you still have numbers more because of you'd be having those 2 number 10s with another midfielder there. It's congested more, and then Mashian and Solomon will give you width and will give you those crosses there. That's how you give pressure to such a small team. You are showing us what you are not afraid of them. If those players get beaten, we relate to Lotto as a coach. We then question the players. Sorry, how can you be beaten by those players?
Yeah.
Watalwan.
Yeah.
But then when as a coach, you've shown us sorry, you are afraid of that team with your
Okay.
approach.
Yeah.
Watalwan, with
Yeah.
your tactics and formations and lineup, you showed us sorry. You Okaro Odala Sundowns. Okaro Odala Sundowns. O tshwanetse o pake midfield, o make mola, bozwana gore ba ska ba le space and all that. Who are you afraid of? Ba irileng, okay. Ba irileng Bafana Balema midfield. They didn't give us any praise or anything. They were not fearsome. Watalwan.
Okay.
Anyhow, but then
Yeah.
still second half you come again with the same lineup, no changes, no nothing. 70 minutes, nothing. 80 minutes, you just
Okay.
giving us fresh legs. I'll change to show that you want to win this game. 90 minutes.
Hey,
No.
Tebza. For time,
Yeah.
Tebza, for time, Tebza. Ricky
Sharp,
Kenya Babang, man. That's why for me, I hear all the arguments about quality players, but also at this point, you should know your team, their strengths and weaknesses. You, Tebza, can tell me, oh, strong kase, oh, strong kase, oh, strong kase. Why is I saw this one? I can tell you. But then, what are the analysts at Kaizer Chiefs saying? What does the coach say? What do they do when they watch back games over and over again and not see the issues that we have? Because I don't believe personally that these players are bad players. Honestly, I don't believe they're bad players.
No. Me too.
Set up.
Exactly. And coaching. And
Yes.
for one last time, Mr. OT, Kiska Jela now. Ubulete Nedore, he's just sending players there. We don't see over Rumilo or Leida. You see Fundo Villagazi being in a space instead of, I mean, number 10. He's our number 10. He was playing as a 10, Mogimine. But then when he wants the ball, he runs behind the defenders. And number 10 must come and want the ball on the feet. You don't run behind the strikers, the defenders as if you are a striker. You must come. You must come short, and make things happen. You understand? But then you don't see our coach saying, "Hey, Mfundo, we are You understand? You don't see that. Arana behind the defense. We are behind the defense. Kilo bona zwana arana behind the defense because of get that mola mohare attack and say attack. You understand? So my brother.
The one who tropang eba chiva viral, but I risk again. Let me go to Prince. Prince, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Hola, Bafeso.
Prince, Ubonan, what are you seeing from this situation at Kaizer Chiefs?
It seems like our guys they didn't train actually. Since I don't think if they did train, there should be a difference. Cause what I know is your team, if it is not performing, especially before the December break, the coach, I think, what the problems were before, and then after December break, we should be seeing difference from what we had on the first break.
Yeah.
So number one, there are two things, Mina, I think ezenzakala is either that racism thing is playing a role with team, and number two is I wish maybe if Kaizer, because guys, if we are struggling like this, Kaizer Sapila, how isn't those of if that guy dies? You see, so I wish if Manje, this guy can maybe try and remove all his children, maybe leave Jessica, because Jessica is doing the good job. Remove all his kids and then replace them with people that know so that at least those guys, at least and then we need someone also to we need results. So then if you're not performing, we give you a team, you just run the team. managing the team, just manage the team, so that if we are not performing very well, then we'll ask why. Okay, number 2, signing players. I understand, guys, you are saying, that we should have signed players. How can you sign players if, because that guy is the interim coach, so he's actually not the coach. So so for now, we'll understand. It's fine, we didn't sign players, but with these players that we have, what can we do? You see, guys, I once blamed some of us, because I remember we had this guy, this super sport coach. Who is that guy?
Kevin Hunt.
Gavin Hunt. Gavin Hunt, he did some amazing job at Chiefs, but the problem is that he used the players that we had, but he didn't. We were doing well in CAF. You know the reason? Just because of Kevin Hunt was saying, in CAF the ball is slow, the game is slow. In the here in PSL, the game is much quicker. So that's why. So that's why it was easy for us to win, and when we were playing in CAF, that guy was good. The problem is that we were not patient. Going back to Chiefs, guys. Those players were not training actually. There is no way that a big team like Chiefs cannot hold a ball for even 5 minutes. Of course, okay, we can play CAC, but why is it hard for Chiefs to play 5 minutes? Hold the ball for 5 minutes. Let's knock it around. You want to knock the ball around in the box, and we are still passing. No one is thinking of, we are near 18 area. No one can think of shooting. Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense, guys. So for me, I don't think we are going anywhere with this team. It's either they just sell it to another guy, another owner, and maybe that will have that will know what he's doing. Otherwise, for now, I don't think we are going anywhere. There is no, those guys, they don't show hunger. They just, it's like they are just playing. So I don't know if lento leyo yenziwa ukuthi there's that racism thing etimini, maybe that's the thing affects her. But if it's that, then I will understand. But for now, with the players just now, I don't performance lay econ. I doubt perfect. We are not going anywhere.
Prince, thank you so much for joining me, guys. I'm seeing in the comments there, Maramak. Mark, you're coming here and you're doing the thing. Come on, Mark. You don't have to be swearing there, please. Let me go to Ringa. Ringa, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Hey, how's it, man?
This is that team, guys. Same old. Tell me, what do you think of this situation and the game?
Okay, let me try and make sense of some points I wanted to make, right? Chiefs is currently a company called Blockbuster, or a company called Xerox, a company called Nokia, right? Our management is very, guys, don't get it twisted, right? I know, like, there's no football family powerful and that has the knowledge like Kaizer Chiefs or experience, right? But they're quite so far behind everyone else. The brand, the brand of football we want to play, or the brand of football we are bringing onto the field, is so 2005 or 2014 when last we won the league. That's how far back we are. Right? It shows in how we recruit players. It shows in how we recruit coaches. It shows in how our players are playing on the field, right? Guys, tactics aside, everything else aside, if you do not die for that jersey edge that is on your chest, you don't need to be in that team. The coach can tell you run left, but if you know, I am here and I'm fighting for this badge, you're going to run the right way. You're going to forget everything else, because at the end of the day, you are a Chiefs player, right? There's no way you're going to allow yourself to beat a team that plays a division under you, fighting for a relegation in that division. There's no way. Like, where's the pride of the player? Like, where's that arrogance? The arrogance that, as you don't want to make the example, the players are Sundowns when they go into a pitch. That's how you start by winning the. You bring back the thing, man, the pride of the badge. I will die for this badge. Now, even if we are losing 1-0 and it's 10 minutes, I will sweat blood for this team. There's no such thing. One of the reasons for that is that, as number one, Rebasuke Bocastillo dutse ko Colombia, leader Mfana o apparent jersey number 14. If you ask that boy history of Kaizer Chiefs, he will tell you where the origins of this team come from. He can't even tell you what the biggest branch is. He can't tell you. He has no idea where he is, what he's doing, what he's playing for. Right? Then you go to recruit. Like you go and let go of players at certain stages who are over the age of 30, right? Because saying Baba Hole. But you recruit year-old, a contract. That 20-year-old, Hanali 28, Hana medal of any kind for his name, right? So that's not a winner. That player is not, he has no medal, no nothing. So at least see a winning mentality to the team. Actually, he's coming to want to win something, not coming to you to help you win something, right? Then what are you doing? Then you take one of the most prized possession of a team, which is a captain's armband. You just roam it around. Where's the leaders in that team? When we were losing Kabukatan and all of them, you knew who the leaders were. You knew when before they left the pitch, Bokatan, they will gather the guys and they will have the highlight before they leave. Who are the leaders of that team? You knew Lakunzima, a Katande will kill out of nowhere, a goal out of nowhere, something to show I am the leader of this team. When not leading, I'm here to lead. Guys, right now, right? Management guys, we can discuss and debate management. You guys, how Kasheba the credentials of any other team, and you look at experience alone, you look at football knowledge alone, management achieves is far in terms of that, right? But the thinking is 2005. The playing is 2005. The ideas are 2005. It shows in the recruiting. It shows like like you were talking about Nteki, right? When he came through, did Nteki want a job? Was he? Did he avail himself to say, "I want his job"? I'm like, this is. Did he bring a plan, a CV, an plan, A, B, C, D, E, F? This is where I'll take the team. No, he just went in there about Kaizer deployment, and he sat there, right? And he did nothing, right? So those are the fundamentals that are happening in this club that are not being solved, right? This one, if I make this point, is that I said it also in one of the shows that Mr. Mtaung, with due respect, a Jessica, a Bobby, and a Junior, all of them have no one else but the family to account to.
Yeah.
No board members, no one else to account to say. Because if we're sitting as a board, we hold you accountable to say, dude, you are the chairman of this club. Where are the results? We are going into a decade of just no result, of no winning a trophy. Something that's never happened to this club. We are heading towards that. And yet, no one is holding the management, no one is holding the players accountable. Even Runa defense, loud guys, if no one is holding people in the rooms that are important, like we can boycott and say we're not going to the stadium. But after the game, they get TV money rights. They don't make their money. Their margin line, their bottom line is always flowing. They make their money. But our players do not count on that field. Don't die for us on that. Like one of the guys was saying, they don't know the players. I don't trust those players, let alone don't know them. I don't trust those players. These guys are me and they are fighting for me.
For time, Ringer.
You know, but so sure, OT.
No, thank you, Ringer. I like that point. That's what I'm saying, Uti. Again, I'm gonna reference Sundowns once more. I don't think Klopi or even Tatem Tsipe at the time that he bought the Sundowns, I don't think he knew that much about football. But if you truly run it as a business and you truly run it as a company, you hire people who you hold accountable. I may not be able to know what a 4231 diamond dot is, but surely you can read it at the end of the day. Good Mara guys, ngati we are 5th or 6th and spend 200 million. Like I say, what's going on here? What is my report? What do we say? And that's where I'm like, for me, what happens in that meeting? Do they just go, that's Bobby when you were so bad this year, but it's fine. So next year. What happens? You hire people, you hold them accountable. And maybe it is that the family, we're going to have to wait for the family to wake up on their own. Anyway, Manirisi, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Sure. How's it, man?
It is what it is, my guy. It is what it is. Another day, another embarrassing situation where we were accosted by other fans, but it's fine. What did you think of the game and also the situation at Chiefs?
I think the players need to be accountable first before you can take it to the management, because I think there's a power dynamics, because I don't understand how Riga takes the penalty whilst he's not the penalty taker. I think it's Matt who's the penalty taker or someone else. Let's say it's Matt. How does Riga get the ball? It means he has power or certain ego. Because we know, like in the AFCON, Osman didn't take penalties. He's a star player. Why? Because there's a penalty taker.
Forky takes Pirates' penalties.
He's not a striker. He's not a striker. You see? So I think there's a power dynamics which it's influencing the team, because I'm seeing our top players, our earners, Otoli, maybe what he apparently Bambi meet. If Uvilagazi gets 15 or 10, whatever he's getting, is it fair that Uvilagazi must give his all? Look at the difference of our top players and salaries. And then you look at our deadwood that we have been signing, Tanzane, Usitebe. Imagine now you must get rid of these guys. How do you get rid of them? You terminate their contract. What happens when you terminate? You must pay them off. You do that to Unsigi. Uzwane is still getting his same salary, but he's downgraded. So you see all those dynamics, because I see Chiefs, the only thing that's starting to save them now, it's Vodacom and Toyota. If those two sponsors pull out, I think they might consider selling the club, because I don't think they will survive with the wage bills that we have. You see, because I just see it's too much. The only thing I think they can do and escape is getting Farukhan as a sporting director. Farukhan has a scouting networks. So angakwazi ukuvutha lezintwana zakhe lezi azifake kwi-Chiefs. Even if azifake kwi-Chiefs, we have selling on value from lezintwana. We can live off that way. Because commercial wise, I think next season they won't see it. I don't think Opapa Wawa and team yake will be interested in anything regarding Kaizer Chiefs. Because you can see what's happening. So you bring back Farukhan, avuthe lezintwana, and then Tina, we can survive by selling players. We'll be a selling club to Europe until we sustain. Because this thing of you buying new players, you can't. The wage bill is on top of the roof, and you've been terminating contracts. So you look at Umteta, no Kunika, you just signed them recently. What's their sell-on value? And they're on wages, high wages. So it needs to sacrifice for 2 seasons. You bring Farukhan for the shipping director. You just, I don't know, you get a coach that will work together with Farukhan, and then you sell them for 2 or 3 seasons, and you'll be financially stable, because I don't see Chiefs escaping this financial problem, because it's starting to hit. Because I'm seeing how many players' contract have been terminated. Deadwood, like Tanzania and those Tebe, they were good hype signing. But I know you need to get rid of them if they're not part of the plans. Otove, he was good, but he's injury prone. He's nesting something for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So look at our age squad, our average, the age squad as a whole. I'm sure it's 29, 28. And these people are carrying injuries, hidden injuries. So it means that you can't build now. You just, whoever comes needs to fix the problems previously. And I think Farukhan, if I'm a sporting director, at least singadla from youngsters selling until we weather the storm.
Mm.
Because if you just buy new players financially, I don't think Chiefs are getting there. Because for how many seasons they've not been winning cups?
Okay.
Imagine now, last 32, you're out. You don't even have
Mm.
commercials for TV rights. Next.
Mm.
So I
Mm.
think Farrakhan will solve the problem if
Okay.
they can just give him all what he needs. I think he's the only guy who can save Chiefs with the recruitment structure and signing players. I trust that guy.
Okay, okay.
Sure.
Hey,
Sure.
Madalisti, thank you. But you know, Farouk Khan will be development for a year. Then they're gonna move him into head coach at some point now. But it's fine. Let me go to Malume Kutso. Malume Kutso, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Well, how are you, Mr. Oti?
We live and we keep pushing, man. Since that in.
Kineilwe. Hayi, uske wafela Tshepo. Yeah. Ithoke umusani.
Qadile.
I'm just here to give some motivation to Chief supporters. Ningaphela umoya, ikhosi aliphela umoya. Keep pushing, guys. Keep pushing. Lentikini bafethu. The biggest team in Africa. Number one supporter, Sibanini FC. Ningaphela umoya, guys. Eh? No team has many fans. The richest team in Africa. Please, guys. Bafemi Klama boys. Abafana bokuthula ngoxolo. Love and peace. Kiluna ba. But that song yakinelo eri. Tsutleho. Kia mang limang.
Hi, Wawana.
But
Hi.
Mr. Uchi, can we look at the picture on a serious note? Can we look at the picture that you posted up there? I love you too, Mark. If you look at the picture that you posted up there, you see Abo Ranga, you see Abo Yusuf Mat, Milson Tobe, you see Kanakimang, this guy.
Modi.
Usimang.
Oh, yeah.
Usimang, as well as Umodi. These people, when they came to Chiefs, Mr. Uti, or seasons before, these were big players. I hear people saying they are not Chiefs material, this and that.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't get bigger than this, guys. You can even check Bomtetwa, the hype around them, but to praise. There are so many players who are not in this picture. But Kigen Toli, who came here as very big players. I think at this point, what you need to do is what I've seen with football, American football, is where they bring in the top speakers, Mr. Uti, the top motivators. You understand? I can quote, I can reference a Vusti change at this point to come and speak to the spirit of the boys. The tactics may be there. I mean, Kevin Johnson is also not a slouch of a coach. He's relatively a good coach. So what you do, Mr. Uti, at this point, you try and speak to the soul of the players because that's where the problem is. If you can speak to those players and motivate them, and at least so that they don't focus on these racist these are good players. Like I counted Uranga, Yusuf Mat, Msimango, as well as Kanakimang Pulemodi. These are Bafana players. All of them. They were right there in the sectors of Bafana until they signed for Chiefs. Emerson Tobe is a regular there. He was playing the AFCON, Mr. These are not small players. We can complain, but I think the players are dead inside. We watched this game. In Milford, I can't even compliment Milford. I can't even think of one moment where they put in a cross, a through ball, where he shot Nyana. Nothing, Mr. Oti. Like, it was just Chiefs that beat themselves. You understand? So, for me, I believe I will even go as far as saying the problem is spiritual. That's why I even considered saying, move the boys. Take 15 players that you want to concentrate on, or 18. Move them away from Naturena a bit. But, like, change your attitude, the team. Find a way to change your attitude. Influence the influential players to influence the other players. You understand? If Kune is influential in leading players to think ukuthi there's racism there, influence Kune to lead the players to believing which this team needs to win. Influence King and Todi into forming a partnership with Itumelong Kune, if that's the case. You understand, Mr. Uti? You can't keep signing and signing. It doesn't get better, Mr. The squad Chiefs is full of so many good players.
Yeah.
I hear people. You can even talk about age. Pirates signed Makehleni Makaula. Pirates signed the L team. Sundowns signed Uralani. We signed a Mataima. We signed a Mataima, and they come in, they fit, they push, they check the system. You understand, Mr. Uti? If we're talking, I heard a lot of people are asking why is Umtituzi Shabalala playing on the side. It's a valid question, but if I told you that Umshishi Zwane spent most of his Sundowns career playing on the side, what would the response be?
With a plan.
Masanga, he plays on the side. Yes, Tito Masanga he plays on the side. Iniesta, very similar profile, also operates from the side. It's the confidence of saying, even if the coach puts me on the side, the coach believes which I can do, I can operate, I can play as a number 10, I can play as a wide number 10. Not necessarily which if you're playing on the side, you must go down the line, across. So many teams have signed the player Alpha and the Chiefs, and they are doing well. The problem is mentality. Okay, I just wanted to say the painful part is that knowing this is where I think the Chiefs are kind of king management lags. Knowing their mentality is that their season is coach not to try and qualify or kind of king Kev Confed. It's over, Mr. Uti. I like him, Makosi.
Ay, Tabaya. Tabaya. To Maluma Kutsa's point, well, the Chiefs did try. They got the psychologist, the Springbok psychologist. Apparently he's on payroll at Naturena as well. So they tried to do it, but it's... Honestly, I feel, for me, the stick is better than the carrot. I think you have to, before you create the culture, you have to create the standard, and you have to enforce a standard. So if you are not good enough, you can't sit at Kaizer Chiefs for 5 years. If you're not good enough, you can't start 18 games in a row. If you're not good enough, you have to be moved out. Like, there has to be something that shows, good guys, if you're not good enough, forget the thinking and all of that stuff. You're not going to be at Chiefs for long. That's what I think. That the standard needs to be brought in, man. How's that? Welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Hey. I'm good in you, man.
We say the same things. I can hear you.
All right, man, the therapy session, and I remember after AFCON, you guys were like, no more therapy sessions. It's just 30 minutes. Congratulations, and we're in and we're out. I asked myself, do these guys know Kaizer Chiefs? But you know what, to echo what my fellow Bagania was saying, my fellow 6-0 winners, what he was saying, you guys need, I remember in 2020, Doc Kumalo and the rest of the legends did the same thing. They went to the players, they spoke to them, and after that, for a couple of games, you saw that there was fire lit in their belly, I am all for playing youngsters, but what is also important is that you must have a natural leader. Yeah. You were talking about, what's his name? Robert Roy Keane. You need those kind of players. Somebody who, Harry Maguire. One thing that I've realized about Harry Maguire since coming to Man United, he's one of those die-hard players. He's a patriot. That's why he's always chosen in the England squad. He's a patriot. You need a patriot. And we saw that with what's his name, the goalkeeper, who was always dancing at AFCON. So you need those kind of people. You need somebody who's gonna either be on the pitch, who's gonna do what Roy Keane did to Cristiano Ronaldo. To these young boys. We can't keep going around in circles, man. If it's not man, if the boys cannot run their father's club, they must just give it back. If the players cannot, bring in somebody who's gonna talk to them. You know, you look at what's his name, Vincent Boole. What Malome Kutz was saying is exactly 100%. You go to Vincent Boole's page, you scroll through his videos, you listen to the sound, you will hear a motivational speaker who was speaking to a team, a basketball, a football team, or a baseball team. You know, Americans invest in those things. That's why whenever they play with their hearts out. You know, it's time that we start looking at those things, because you're going to bring in a new coach, you're going to change a technical director, you're going to bring a UEFA A licensed technical director or a coach. And if those problems don't change, it's the mentality and the environment of Naturen. You know, we can't keep saying it's the same thing while we're staying in the same place. You know, something must give. And, you know, it's these kind of things. These players were good before they were signed at Chiefs. You know, then the next thing, AFCON is just around the corner. It's just around the corner. And we're going to sit here and say, nah, Hugo Bros is being unfair again. To a team of players that's demoralized and does not want to play. I'm telling you, there's a higher chance of having a player from TS Galaxy. 4 players being chosen and going to play for the national team over Kaizer Chiefs players. I was listening to you guys. I saw the videos from the fans, the tweets, and everybody was saying the same thing. Hugo Bruce was right. We can't have these players represent our nation. They are not there mentally. It's a mental problem that they're facing. You know, well, I was watching the game, the Pirates game. You know, in the first minute, I was like, no, we are gonna walk through this team. I turned my head 1 minute, the next minute there was a goal. The game was won in the mind before it was played on the pitch. So it's high time now things change there by nature then.
Mara, how's that? Hey, now I'm just, you know, I'm of the mind that, like, you know, teams like Chiefs and stuff like that, I don't think it goes all the way to the bottom. I don't think it starts at the bottom. I think we're starting at the wrong place. Because if you look at the top and then you go all the way down, you know, people are saying in the comments that the players are not good enough. And I go, if the players are not good enough, yet they've been at Chiefs for 4 or 5 years, people are getting contract extensions, I can't blame a player for not being good enough if that really is the problem. But if management doesn't see fit to move on those players, what must we say? You get what I mean? Like, I feel like for me, we can cry about the guys at the bottom and we can cry about these players. But also, what is the motivation for these players to do well, whether they go and find their own motivation? Surely inside the club, it should be a thing where we go, guys, we speak about Sundowns a lot, but at the end of the day, Sundowns is bonus. A lot of their contracts are bonus based. So if you don't do well, you don't get paid. Forget about mental.
Exactly what I'm trying to get to is that, yeah, they have lost. That's what I'm saying when I said, if the boys see that they can't run the club, they must just give it back.
Yeah,
you know, there's when you are leading people like Boyana Motang, Bojuni, and all those guys, you know, you must show leadership, not that you are their peer. Because if we can now start this, if these things like the scandals that are coming out of Kaizer Chiefs, you know, are coming from players themselves, from their mouths, you know, it means that there's no level of respect. And it doesn't start at the bottom, it starts at the top, you know. Look at what Motsepe built. You look at what the Stelis is doing. You look at these small teams, what they're trying to build. And you look at the decay that's happening at Kaizer Chiefs. Yes, it's rotting from the top and it's rotting from within the team. You know, what I'm looking at is that we are going to throw away, Chiefs is going to throw away great players in the name of that they are not good. But then it's the environment that they cannot perform. You take these guys, you throw them into a TS Galaxy, to a Sikukuna, they perform. They show up. But why can't they do that at Kaizer Chiefs? It's the environment which they are in. You know, it's not a conducive place for them to grow as players. What you're talking about incentives, it's exactly that. If you're in a place that's depressing, what are you meant to do? What are you meant to do? You won't perform. Yeah.
How's that for time? I'm just gonna have to jump in. look, guys, that's why I'm saying that for me, I hear the conversations about motivation and all of that stuff. But guys, very simply put, for me, if I am a quote unquote bad player, yet the team keeps giving me contracts on top of contract, on top of extension, on top of extension, and like my money is going up even. And that money is guaranteed. I don't even have to play well to get that thing. What is going to motivate me to do better? What is going to motivate me? And we can't expect all 30 players to be motivated self-starters and all of that stuff. Can't they? All you need to do, put it on a paper. Here's your contract, guys. Forget about the rights, the image rights. Here's a contract that says if you don't win these games or X amount of games or X amount of home games or to get to this level or to do that, then you're not going to get your money. Let's start there. And then you start showing the players that not only are you not going to get your money, we're going to let you go and we're going to bring in somebody better. And like we're bringing in somebody better to sit on top of you. Now, Keegan Tolly, for everything Keegan Tolly, they say about him leadership and all of that stuff, and the money he's earning allegedly. Time came when we needed somebody to change the game. Nalekokai, benching. Nobody called him. Nobody even thought to call on him to come in. And that's why I'm like, then who are our leaders and why are they leaders? And he's probably going to get an extension at the end of the day. And he's probably going to do it's going to be the same thing, you know? So that's why I'm like, guys, for me, I see everything. But yeah, let me go to TK. TK, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you? Long time, Ufitlarilla. Ausentab, I'm coming. Uko listing. It's very listing today. Okay, TK seems to be a little bit quiet there. Let me go to Usbura. Usbura, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, Pudujan.
Isizatini, man. We want to game Chiefs, Izolo, and also the state of the club.
There's a huge damage at Kaizer Chiefs. I don't want to lie. For the last 8 years, there's a mess. I don't know whether it's a mental issue with the current players. But if you say that with the current players, what about the previous players who left?
Yes.
Abo Katande, Abo Parker. Number two, Abo Billiard. Number two, as most of guys have said, there is no leadership in that team. You don't have your Jimutau who will call guys to just before they go to the tunnel. Someone who's not scared to shout at the players for doing mistakes. You don't have your Itomino Nkune who doesn't care about how much you earn, but who's going to tell you what he needs to tell you. Then we have a coach whom I'm trying to understand how he wants things to be done. A previous game before this one, Kosin Pilen was doing well. All of a sudden, he was taken out. Even yesterday, he was doing well and he was taken out. Then there's this thing that he did again. You substitute a defender for a defender. It didn't make sense to me. You substitute a destroyer for a destroyer. Everyone must get 15 minutes. I strongly don't understand that thing. When Hugo Bros said a lot about Chiefs, the whole South Africa attacked coach for no good reason. But look at this. You had Castillo who came in, scored goals, who was doing well. You had Modi who came in, who was scoring goals.
Doing well.
Doing well. You had Potsane, who was a threat even the previous season to most of teams. You had Tanzani, who was doing well. You had Tetwa, whom everyone wanted Chief to sign. We have Umarti, who was recognized in the national team. You have Usodomoni, who was doing well. So all these players, where are they today? They are gone. They're dead. It's like you go to Chiefs, then you go for an operation so that you cannot perform again. From development, we have Osamgelo Zwane. That boy is one good player. Take that boy to Mamelodi Sundowns. If you can take Zwane to Sundowns, you take Ngobo to Sundowns. Because from my opinion, Ngobo is what Themba Zwane is. Give that boy, if you can give Ngobo a chance to play 2-3 seasons, he'll be exactly what Mshishi is today. Samgelo Zwane has he is half of what Yeye was years back. A good pass off the ball. But you look at the coach that you are having. I watched the game yesterday closely, whereby almost all the midfield is playing facing their goalkeeper, their defense. When are you going to attack when you receive the ball facing your defense each and every time? It does not make sense at all. It does not make sense at all. And also the responsibility of Dylan Shepard in that bench. Shepard was there when Zwane was there. He was there when Tseki was there. What is he
He was
giving to the
there with
Chiefs?
Hunt even.
He was there with
Can you still hear me,
I don't think
Buddha?
he adds any
Oh, there
value
we
on that
go.
on that. Yeah, I do. So if it was for me, instead of going for Johnson, I wish Chiefs went for Madisel. Because why am I saying that? Chiefs has more ball players. All these young boys and the players that they have signed, they are more of ball players. They need a coach who's going to at least try to build a team that can play from the back with all this kind of ball players. Also, getting someone like Sean Pantlet to assist with strikers movement, strikers finishing. You can't have a Dupreez. A goalkeeper can just go away, drink water, and come back. That guy will never score. He's always on the rush. Always on the rush. Then thereafter, they can also maybe get a third assistant, someone who will deal with the analysis of the game only. Do you remember the coach who was once with Sundowns, Johannes Skins?
Yeah.
Some years back, that guy was a very, very good coach. So for a number of Chiefs supporters, they are saying Chiefs doesn't have players. I strongly believe that Chiefs do have players.
Okay.
We need a coach who's going to understand that I have ball players. I don't have players who are going to run with the ball, because it's 2 or 3 players who can run in that setup of Chiefs.
For time's sake, my brother, I
then-
just need that final point, my brother.
Yeah, so for now, what is going to happen, how I wish that Chiefs supporters can, maybe in numbers, we can just pull out all from all their social media platforms. Maybe boycott games. Maybe that alone will send a message.
Okay.
Thanks, bro.
No, thank you so much, Buddha. Mto. Hey, man, the therapy session continues, my brother.
Scholars baningi inkomo idla ichepisi. Yeah, no. Hey guys. You know, let's start with the game. I agree. I don't know who mentioned good team. Chiefs does not feel like a big club anymore. They didn't get into the field of play with the confidence that they can win a game. That's number one. You can tell from the body language of the players. You can tell from just how the attitude. Nje. Yeah, but so I mean, we really didn't need to take this game to in 19. That team didn't even play. Yeah, bona. So yeah, and then sekuba nale issue ya ngiqale ngawo ama player ngwagceke. The players were just horrible. Let me use horrible, yeah. They were just horrible. I mean, you can't assert yourself against a team that is struggling with NFD. That for me tells me that there's something wrong with your mentality. There's a block that's somewhere there in those players, you know. So, and then Kevin Johnson got certain things wrong, definitely. He got certain things wrong, but a bulk of my blame goes to the players because no matter how keep it defender for it defender, really you're supposed to be superior. You are playing in the higher division here. You know what I'm saying? So, but we don't have that kind of assertiveness. Then now, here comes the real uh, big issues with Chiefs. Why we are where we are right now. One is that Chiefs management, they don't want to keep up with the times. I mean, clubs all over the world, if they fire a coach, they fire the entire technical team because the entire technical team has failed. But at Chiefs, you'll see Atazwane, if he was a head coach, chiki, assistant coach, chiki, agahambe to give space to the new guy with his own people. Dylan Shepard is still there. Even my guy who was before me mentioned that there are no results. It is the only club that's still doing that. You can't be doing that if you want to move forward. That's number one. Chiefs management, they don't want to keep up with the times. Unabi, the deal fell through because the guy wanted to come with his technical team and they told him, hey, but hey, there's one, hey, there's who.
Number one in Morocco right now. But anyway.
Yeah, one. So that's part of the reason why we're there. Number two, Chiefs actually does not have a style of play. Can you really tell me what kind of football are we playing? Yeah, well, we don't have a style of play. So for me, one, let's get someone who's gonna come in with their technical team, and then asho ukuthi ufuna ukudlala njani, abe ne-style of play. That's number one. And then three, he does a technical evaluation of the players. And whoever is deemed surplus to requirements, who's not gonna fit into that style, then fair agavai. So that at least he can build, because the other problem is that we don't know, maybe we want to be a position based team. So, but you can't go then and fetch a player who is used to playing for teams that always playing on a low block and in transition. It's not gonna work. Watata Ranga was doing well. What's this club
Marumo
that got relegated? Marume Gallants, because they were playing low block. Maybe in transition it worked for him, but then now you bring him into a Chiefs, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So we need to decide first of all what kind of style do we want to play, and then stick to it. I've seen that with the Pirates. Pirates are getting results because they're sticking to how they want to play. Whether they're playing in Sundowns, whether they're playing in Baroka or whoever, they're sticking to how they want to play, and you can see they've got an identity now. So that's why I'm saying Sundowns is ahead, right? But the one club that can probably close the gap, it looks like it's Pirates. They can close it because they've got an identity, so they need to probably plug here and there to finally get there. With Chiefs, we don't even have a style of play.
Yeah.
So it's a lot, it's a mess. And another thing again that is causing, I don't think there's enough experience in the signings that you can't sign players who've never won the league and expect them to win the league. I'm just saying we don't have to sign only talent yaku PSL kuphela. I mean, there are clubs that feature consistently ku CAF competitions. Why don't we go and look ku Simba? Why don't we go and look ku Young Africans? Why don't we go and look North Africa, go Pyramids? Those guys, they look as far down as Simba. Pyramids signed this player who was at the AFCON from DRC.
So Maele.
I mean, yes,
no,
you see. Yeah, so we can also do that, and those are really good players. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be looking at both Dupree's now. There are more players in this continent who are good. And then now somebody from outside of Africa, you're going to fetch who's not even considered for ETRC. And Umlanda was second division, that's Zambia. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. The level has dropped. For me, the level has dropped so bad. And then Upovi, I don't know how true that statement is. Yoguti, he won't sign a player that is worth more than the league prize money. If he said that, then he does not understand football, because I mean, Real Madrid, I'm talking about Real Madrid, arguably the most successful club in the world, signed Bellingham. Bellingham is more than La Liga prize money. So to say that statement, it shows that you don't understand. It's not for Madrid. It was not just about how expensive it was, because they were showing that they've got the pool. Now they're pulling Mbappe. And where's Mbappe is not gonna even any salary. That's how much they've got a pool in Madrid. Chiefs needs to understand that they need to go back to that where they had the pool. Before Chiefs had the
Yeah.
pool, they could pull
For
any player. Now what's
to,
happening?
eh.
Yeah, just to wrap it up, now what's happening is that we're seeing that pool with the Sundowns. Sundowns can pull any player. That's why we launch Manjo Hambili Uba joinil. So once we get that thing right again, and the management yet sorts that out for us, maybe we can try and come back. But for now, Bafeta is colors banning in Komili chapis.
No, thank you, Mto. I have a request from one of my breadwinners, Alson Tabi. Guys, can I call on Alson Tabi to jump in before I let Utabani come in? Alson Tabi, welcome.
Oti,
Hey.
yes, a ke tlo bua ka football today. Ha re tlo dumella ka hara show ya rona e re e ratang, e re e respectang, e re e shwelang, ho tlo
Hey.
kwana ka mona. Ha se
Hey.
nonsense re tlo e dumela ka mo. Ka mona na o tlo tla etsa that method o sebedisang kae kapa kae. Ha ona bo user ba tlo kena ka mona na bana le batho ba i20. Ha ona batho ba tlo kena ka mona ba tlo kana ka hara show ya rona. Ra e rata this show, ra e respecta. Re kopa batho ba se ba tlo tla re theola seriti today. Ene o tlo tla o ha re ba batle batho ba sena mabitso ka mona OT. From today, ha re ba batle. Ha o le user o sena le bitso, ha o tlo kena ka hara show yena, ha o tlo ngola le comment ya hao. Ha re o bona ra o blocker, please.
Hey.
Ha se no sonse ka banka yemela ka ga show ya rona e re ratang ha kana never.
Ay, ke ba blokile Alson Tabi. O zamile ga 3. O yena o buang ka ena.
No way. Ha re tlo e dumella. Ba batla o theola ntwa rona ina le seriti ba ise fatshe, no way. Re kekebe.
Ke a gutla
Pele bana
Alson
bes Eskom nka motlakase no tjena na ke kwatiswa ke batho ba ntse ba etsa ntho tse re tenang ka mona.
Ay, ke a leboga Alson Tabi. Ke a leboga, o ska wara, ke ba bone. O ska wara.
Thank you batho ba panel le ndumeletse gore ke le jampene.
Thank you, Alson Tabi. Guys, if you have not followed, please follow. Whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, please click on the button. Yeah, it's not going to be tolerated. I have blocked a certain person. He's come back with 3 different accounts. I don't know if you guys noticed. So we're going there. Tabani, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, and you, Mr. Overthinker?
You know, it is what it is, man. Ki life, barki life. Tell me, what did you think of the game and the state of Kaizer Chiefs?
The games to me are all the same. I see no difference. They're all the same. They win, they lose, the same thing. There's only one thing I'm complaining about. The coach is overthinking things. Kaizer Chiefs has too much stars. That's why he's always changing the starting 11. He can't even keep the same starting 11 for 5 or 6 games. Maybe if he can do that, maybe we would win maybe 4 games in a row. So what I'm saying is, at the start of the season, we were performing fine. At the start of the season, we had something in us. Well, we had that fire. Potsane has the most assists. When was the last time he played? Do you get me?
Yeah.
Our strikers are too slow. Sahil is too fast for these strikers. Shiva Viro always. Ipola dlule khona. Le outside the box. Shiva Viro is too slow. Mele sithole abo Khanyisi Emayo at least. You see, we understand that Shiva Viro has powerful shots, but it's too slow in the box. Abobonko Marty Amag. Man King, he marks the ball, Marty. Ngobo is fine, everyone is fine. But the thing is, they put pressure on themselves. That's what I've noticed. They put too much pressure on themselves. Even the coach puts pressure on himself by changing these players too much. It is too much changing of the players. In 3 games, you tell me you changed 8 players. 8. Come on. The coach is, and the one who's signing players abroad. No, I don't know if it's Bobby or Bobby has someone. These players. when you want to win the league, you must sign players from the PSL, people who know the environment. Do you get me? Yeah, you must get players who know the environment. You must not get someone who's gonna get tired. Sebanja Macrams, 15 minutes in the game. Sebanja Macrams, or someone. And this thing of what should I say? Promoting young players, we are promoting too much. That's why these young players won't get the chance to shine because we are promoting too much. Even if we promote, we should maybe loan them out for like 2 seasons, Boma, NFT, yabo. 2 seasons at least. The thing is, Chiefs, when they loan out players to the NFT, the youth, they'll never come back. Never. So the thing they need to do is stay composed, keep the same players for at least eight games or 6 games. But don't have a Vero, you know, or Gonzalez Babimbonapi. How Gonzalez Babimbonapi? Ay. Utupri is finishing. He needs to do better. And one more thing I should say, maybe if Chiefs would get like maybe ama legends like someone said Jimmy Tao or Litolonyane to maybe deal with the department in the team. Maybe Jimmy Tao would deal with defenders. So figure a coach ama defender or Litolonyane figure a coach ama midfield. I'm a striker, but we Puri Kanyes. When was the last time we had a striker like that? Boma Musona, Baga retired. Come on. We can bring someone who motivate some players. Chiva Vero too slow. Gonzalez too slow. Lama striker lao. The team is fine. Good in Jeba and changing of players so much. Who coach had a stew beginning of the season. So stew se fagama banana ma apula. Beef stew This is a beef stew. Se fagama banana ma apula. Se fagama fruits kona la. Coach is putting pressure on himself. But that's all I can say.
Okay,
Thanks for
okay.
the
No, Tabani. Thank you so much for jumping in. Sinja with the burner. Oh, before I go to Sinja, guys, I think when we speak about the blocking, I don't know if you guys remember, I did ask him to calm down, the specific person. So after a certain point, you have to act. It's not that everybody will be blocked in chair out of the blue. I usually allow people to carry on, but after a certain point, something has to be done. Sinje with the burner, welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you for that clarity. I guess it's in Sotho, but hey, but Mkanam, I was a bit worried that you are blocking people, and I'm worried I'm gonna be blocked because I don't have a profile pic. I hope you
I
are
know
well.
it's the burner account.
But listen. I hear a lot of people are talking, you know. I don't know whether people watched this that interview ka Steve Kompela with Robert Morawa and Andy Lengube. I think Steve kind of answered a lot of questions that I had in terms of why certain players will not be substituted, changed, or whatever. Because I couldn't. He did answer me on this one. You see, then I thought about this and I felt, you know what, Chiefs, they do have quality. As that, I also believe that are national team material. In fact, some of them were until they came to Chiefs.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be arguing about that one today. I think with Chiefs, with Kevin Johnson, I'll rather have this particular stress that we are now having with Kevin Johnson, where players are not finishing, the quality of finishing, the shots being taken and saved, shots hitting the crossbar. I would have that. I would rather have that than what we were having with Molifensek. They would watch 90 minutes, not a single watch 90, 70 minutes, not a single change. I like what I am seeing with Kevin Johnson. I think he's picking up directly where Arthur Zwane left. What I think Chiefs should do is get a proper coach, striking coach and a proper offensive coach. Offensive play, offensive movement, offensive motion, and offensive direction of the ball. That a striker coach will deal with positioning of our strikers, where the ball should be played, how the ball should be played. We don't need you don't need 7 fast strikers. Besuma was not a fast striker, yet he was a deadly one. We played off his strength. Leslie Manyatela was not the fastest striker. He was used correctly. I think Chiefs need, I would dare say, bring back Arthur's one and get a proper offensive coach, a proper a striker coach. It's not a miracle that our players, when they leave Chiefs, they do very well. It's not a miracle. Like, I would even bring in Bradley Cannell from St. Louis in the MLS to come and bring him back to South Africa and give him the necessary strength, support that he needs. And I know a lot of people are saying it's expensive to change contracts. It's very expensive to change contracts. So you need to be either someone is at the last year of his contract. You cannot terminate contracts that are in the beginning. First year, because you need to pay that whole 5 years or the whole 4 year to pay him out before you can get a new technical team. Now imagine eliminating 7 to 8 contracts. That's more than 20 plus million. And again, you go into another 20 odd million. So you are spending 50 million and change. And yet you are going to play for a league that is going to give you 10 million, excluding the contracts of the players. We are just talking about the technical team alone. So I think that you also need to be very business minded when we talk about these things. I would definitely say I will add the technical team, add in people, that coaches that are specific to a particular aspect of football, get the best of them and come and work with our players. We do them the fact that to position to shoot the ball, even if he misses it, it means that he's got the potential to be worked with and to become very better. We know that he's got the ability to score, but are we moving with a synchronized motion in the offensive play of our team? And I think that is where we are missing it. I think we are disjointed in terms of the motion of play that is within the front four of our players. I don't think Ngobo, if he closes his eyes, he knows where Ranga is going to go, where he can play the ball there. I don't think when he closes his eyes, he knows where Dupree is going. He knows where Saleh is going. And I think that's the best that we had when we heard about Dr. Kumalo. He knew where Paul Masinga is going to go. He knew where Sean Bucket is going to go. He knew where his strikers are going to go. He did not even need to look at them. That is why he could play those shots that would lead into those. How they were playing. What's this guy's name that came from Stellies? The pass that went there, the player was not even looking at him because he knew where man. I think that is where Chiefs is currently missing it. And I think they need to sit down, have some sort of debriefing, have some sort of training in terms of just leave the ball alone, work with players, who's his best friend, who is his mother, and all those things that are going to build team chemistry. And lastly, I want to agree with you. You need to have a vocal lead. You need to have a very experienced leader. And I thought that is what Itumele Nkune used to bring at Chiefs. The motivation of players, the uplifting of players, the shaping of the mind, redirecting them to the purpose of the game. But anyway, Brachochi, let me leave you. The showstopper is here. I'm going to leave agent. He's going to stop all these lies, but it's fine. But 16. And lastly, but not least, Bafana Bafana is the only country to play 3 to 4 penalties on AFCON. Hey, we are insane. We don't want our players to be subjected to known for that.
DJ, but hey, guys, the last 3 guys, I just need you guys to be very quick. I'm going to give you a minute or 2 just to wrap up. Malums, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you? Oh, Malums, okay. Malums, Ageko. Let me go to Ntuli. Ntuli, are you with me?
I'm with you, Mr. OT.
I'm going to need it to be very quick. What are your thoughts about what happened over the weekend and the state of the team?
Okay, Mr. OT, I won't speak about yesterday because I spoke yesterday. The first thing the Chiefs needs to do is to change the Muti guy. Yeah, because it's clear that Muti is not working. Because all the time when I go and watch Kaizer Chiefs, that Muti guy is always there, but the results are not showing. Yeah, yeah, and then another thing, when Mr. OT, it's this business model, Kaizer Chiefs. I think it started around 2014, which was not centralized on the football level, where they started playing home games, Cape Town, Cabo Eastern Cape, you could tell what they wanted the attendance about, because on those provinces, whenever a Chiefs is playing there will be a lot of attendance.
Yeah.
So they were just generating a profit, and then they started not to sign players for the longest time. And that thing, it created a culture disconnect for each Chiefs. So whenever we get the Chiefs get new crop of players to come in, like it already culture is disconnected, so there's no one to hand on a button for
Yeah.
a continuity culture. So I think this is the result of that business model abayiqala that time.
Okay.
And they didn't project some outcomes that will happen, and now we are seeing those outcomes, and they are not good. And the other mistake, just to be short, was firing Kevin Hunt. Because Kevin Hunt, I know Kevin Hunt, he is a coach that can do something out of a low budget team. And I think he could have done something if they gave him a chance at the time. I think he could have done something with his Kaizer Chiefs. Look what he's doing with SuperSport. With abafana multi-choice. He's number 3 at the moment.
Number 3, yeah.
Yeah. So no, just to be sure, Nje, that's all from my side. But they must change the Muti guy. No.
Okay. I know. Thank you, Tiling. But I'm tactics also of agent. Last man, can you close it off for me very quickly?
Hi man, hey, this line was long. I even regret going out, man. Hi. But I think in closing, because I think we need to have a show. I think I hear this was a what is it? What do you guys call it? Eventual show. What is the name? A therapy session. I hear you guys. I hear. But me and you, I think we have had this discussion over and over again. I don't think I've had anything new, to be honest. I think it's a pattern, hype signings, CBD, player of the seasons, youngsters, changing coaches, Chiefs finishing, Chiefs keepers can't keep a penalty, firing of coaches, system, structure. What is new? Nothing is new. I hear people talking about the young boy, Mfundo. He's running a long list. It's a very, very long list, and some are 28 and they're still youngsters, So for me, it speaks institutional problems. I hear you guys talking about Dr. Kumalo and psychologists. Everything has been tried and tested, So I think if the Mutauns can listen to the show, they're not gonna implement it. But I feel like for the sanity of all of you guys, we need to have a show where we sit down and say, but what needs to be done? What do you think are the core problems? Forget the structure. We've talked about the structure. We've talked about the sporting director. We've talked about those things. But what needs to be done? And how should the structure be like? I feel like those are things that we need to talk in depth about, But in closing, there's only one solution that I know for sure. Bring back our Rothmans Cup. And everything will be sorted. Of all the 78 cups that you guys have, just bring one, eh? And apologize for us, it'll be fine.
Hey, Barra agent. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please remember that the show is going to be at 7 p.m. going forward, Monday to Thursday. Then on Fridays, we'll have our normal 12:30 show with my core members. We've said a lot. I've said a lot. A lot of people have said a lot here. Please come in tomorrow and we can have a conversation. Majose, I'm so sorry. Time has got me here. So I'll let you in tomorrow. We'll have a conversation tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Tomorrow, if you have not followed, please follow. Again, Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. I also do other content. There's a video I put out today on Facebook and YouTube. Please go out and support me there. And then also, if you want to be part of the WhatsApp group and want to be part of the critical overthinkers, the big ones, my breadwinners, head on over to YouTube, click on subscribe, click on join. For 20 Rand a month, you get access to our WhatsApp group. That's where the real conversations go down in depth. And then, because we don't have time limits there, and then you also get Friday shows, which are voted for by those members, and they run the show, and they speak more than I do. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Kolani, I'm going to see whether I'm going to do Sundowns or I will do Banyana, but I'll let you know. Look out on the statuses, and I'll let you know what we're going to do. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I'll see you guys then tomorrow, 7 p.m. Unless otherwise, I'll say it in the status to tell you guys.